All right, Ephraim Adam Silver went out to the Las Vegas Summer League and gave a kind of a State of the Union address, or at least opened himself up for interviews with the media. And one of the things he talked about, of course, we'll get into several things he talked about, but the first one we want to talk about is Kevin Durant and the trade request. And as you can imagine, Adam Silver said, hey, that's not the optimum way we want to do business. Here he is.
I don't know whether he requested a trade or demanded one, but this needs to be a two-way street. Teams provide enormous security and guarantees to players, and the expectation is in return that they'll meet their end of the bargain. I'm realistic that there's always conversations that are going to go on behind closed doors between players and their representatives of teams, but we don't like to see players requesting trades, and we don't like to see it playing out the way it is.
Here's what I want to ask you, Ephraim. I don't like it. I don't think you like it. In the league, he mentioned the collective bargaining agreement as he went on and continued speaking. The owners are really going to take it out on the players in this next CBA. Now, Adam Silver is a players commissioner. David Stern was not. I think David Stern was a tremendous commissioner, but he was hardcore. And I don't think this would be going on if David Stern were the commissioner. And we'll see. Now, Adam Silver does work for the owners. I know the owners are going to come hardcore. And to be honest, they should. I've always been with the players, Ephraim. I've always wanted them to win in the collective bargaining. They always lose because you're talking about wealthy owners who made their money and make their money elsewhere versus rich players who at some point, many of them will need that paycheck. Mm-hmm. You know, they'll be good at it for a while, and obviously the Durants and the LeBrons and the Max guys, they're fine. But at some point, a lot of the guys are going to start needing that money. And so the players, the owners can just sit the players out. It's as simple as that. And you know this, the owners don't make their money off these teams on a yearly basis. Some make some money per year, but many of the teams don't make money on a yearly basis. Where they make their money is the appreciation of the franchise. It's like a great investment, right? If you sell it, you're gonna make a ton of money. Like Donald Sterling. Remember when the league made him sell? Well, he bought it. We bought the Clippers for $12 million, sold them for $2.1 billion. So even if you just keep the franchise in your family, you hand it down to your kids. It's a great investment like that. So they will be able to outlast the players, so the players will lose. So they'll take care of it in the CBA. But what are your thoughts on this? And some people argue, Ephraim, while it may not be, we don't like it, it's good for the league in that it keeps the league in the news. I mean, we're talking NBA, KD, Kyrie, Lakers every day because he made this trade request. Mm-hmm. And so what are your thoughts on all of that?
Well, number one, Adam Silver and the owners things are going to change. You're absolutely right. Because you're getting to a point now where because the NBA is a player-dominant league, unlike the NFL,
right?
Then, the commissioner and the owners, there's been a little discrepancy in terms of, the NBA players have more power, more say.
Right.
Because they're collectively together for the most part. What's going to start happening is all of these guaranteed contracts, right? These supermax deals, 200. I mean, we're almost at $300 million.
Oh yeah,
right, for an extension.
Yep.
Jokic got 275.
Right.
Yep. So in a year or 2 years, it's going to be 3, and it's going to keep going.
Yep.
And they're at a point now where they're not going to listen. Like, I don't even know why they're entertaining Kevin Durant wanting a trade request.
Thank you.
He has 4 years left on his deal. I would have told him, duly noted. And we would have kept on, training camp starts September, whatever. See you there. And you got to keep it moving, because if you keep acquiescing to to players' demands when they're under contract, then it'll never stop. What's to stop Jokic next year from saying, I want out?
Yep.
Right? Now I want to be traded.
Yep.
You mean after we just guaranteed you $270 million?
Right.
Right. Like, so now what's going to begin to happen is there are going to be a lot of different clauses in these guaranteed contracts. It's going to be a lot of you must play. If it's outside of injury, you must play a certain amount to get this amount. Like, the language is going to change in these contracts based on, the owners feeling like they're getting the bang for their buck that they're paying.
Let me give you 3 ideas that I have, and some are out there. One, and this was out there, and it was mentioned, I think, by an owner, that if a player so Kevin Durant's got 4 years left on his deal. If he requests a trade, he can go to another team, but his contract has to shrink to what that other team could pay him. Because, your own team can pay you more than any other team. They can give you an extra year. They can give you annual raises that are higher. That's something they put in the last CBA to keep players in place. So that's one idea. If you ask for a trade, Kyrie, and you go to the Lakers, now your contract has to shrink to what the Lakers would have been able to pay you or Kevin Durant. The second one, and I was talking to an executive about this a few days ago, and I like it because he said, the players have in their contracts, Ephraim, and this protects them because players say, well, they can trade us if we got years left on our deal. Yeah, and that's just how it is when someone owns the business.
Right. You don't get a chance. You don't have that. That's not you don't get to be parallel with that. Right. Like that's
right. We don't get to dictate to Fox Sports Radio the terms of everything. Yeah, we have some say. I mean, they respect us, but we're not the bosses.
No.
Okay. And so the players, though, they did give the players a trade kicker. So let's say you mentioned Nikola Jokic. Say he wants to stay in Denver and they trade him next season. And he's like, man, I ain't even want to be traded. If his contract has a trade kicker, that would give him 15% a bump in his salary of 15% because he was traded.
Right.
Well, this executive was saying we should do that for the owners. So if you request the trade, so Kevin Durant in this case, he would have to give up 15% of his salary because he requested a trade. And the third thing I would throw out there, if a player sits out, like Ben Simmons did, right? I just don't want to play. And they kind of have this, but it seems a little gray area. If Kevin Durant requests this trade for the Nets and they say, well, like you said, duly noted, but if we get something great, we'll let you know. But otherwise, we'll see you in September at training camp. If he doesn't show up, you don't get paid. It's not haggling.
No.
You don't have to haggle over anything. You don't get paid, period. Not a percentage. You don't get your contract. Every day you don't get that, whatever you're going to make that day. So those are 3 things I like. And I've seen people say, yeah, good luck getting that past the players. Oh, they'll get it past the players.
They will get it
if they wait long enough. Am I wrong?
They will get it past. Yeah. The owners can outlast everybody.
Absolutely.
We saw that in 99. Remember that?
Yeah.
Right. The owner was just like, all right, we good.
That's when they instituted the max salaries. You didn't used to have max salaries.
The owners were like, this is out of control. And what's happening is you got subpar guys getting these huge deals. Right? You look at a few years back, the Parsons deal. Right?
Oh, gosh. Chandler Parsons.
Come on, bro. Like, what?
Right.
So now there's got to be some stipulation in these contracts where you got to play. If you don't play, you don't get paid. And I'm not talking about injury. I'm not talking about that. That's part of the game. I'm talking about for things that are not part of the game. Like, hey, I don't want to get vaccinated. I'm not going. Okay, well, you go on over there. Right? Go right on over there. Right? Ben Simmons. Oh, my back and my head. It's easy for people to claim their back hurts because you can't really check that, right? Like that's the one thing you can, well, it's swollen here. Like you and guys know that. Players know that.
Right. Oh yeah.
My back is tight. Oh man, my back tight every day. right? But if you pay me $47 million to play basketball, I'm gonna go play
Right.
basketball.
Right.